Hey there, I'm Casey, and I'm a self-taught history enthusiast. I'm mostly interested in the point of time during the inception of the American Constitution. I want to know what went on during that time because its legacy still remains to this day. My knowledge comes from countless hours exploring documentaries, historical archives, Wikipedia, and even some help from AI. It's been an exciting journey, but there's so much more to learn. I invite all historians, history buffs, and knowledgeable viewers to share your insight and opinions in the comments down below. Remember, history is a collective story, and we're all a part of telling it. Now let's get started with today's episode. Hello, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Inspired America podcast. I'm your host, Casey, and this is episode 4. We're going to get into the XYZ Affair, a little spin-off from the John Adams article that we did last time. And later on in the show, a little word from our buddy, Professor Stevens. All right, so let's get into it. Now, the XYZ Affair, the diplomatic scandal, and the quasi-war. The XYZ Affair was a significant diplomatic incident that occurred between the United States and France in the late 18th century. Let's get into the details. Okay. Now the background. In 1793, France was at war with Great Britain while the United States remained neutral. The Jay's Treaty signed in 1794 between the U.S. and Britain resolved several long-standing issues. However, the French were infuriated by Jay's Treaty, believing that it violated earlier treaties between the U.S. and France. So France just got done helping whip the British ass with the colonists. So I could see how they'd be a little upset by this. Anyway, so the incident, the U.S. diplomats shunned in France. President George Washington appointed Charles Cotesworth Pinckney as the U.S. minister to France in 1796. The French government refused to receive Pinckney. In 1797, President John Adams sent a 3-member delegation including Pinckney, John Marshall, and Elbridge Gerry. They went to Paris to restore peace. France's foreign minister, Charles de Talleyrand, avoided meeting the diplomats. The bribery demands. Talleyrand's agents informed the U.S. commissioners that to meet him, they must pay a hefty bribe, provide France with a large loan, and agree to their conditions. Pinckney's famous response, no, not not at sixpence. The XYZ Affair unfolds when news of the French demands reached the U.S., it caused an uproar. President Adams handed over the diplomats' reports to Congress, replacing the French agents' names with the letters X, Y, and Z. Thus, the incident became known as the XYZ Affair. Adams just couldn't pronounce these guys' names. They were just ridiculous. I can't pronounce these names. The quasi-war the Congress authorized defense measures, including creating the Department of the Navy and constructed warships. This is the beginning of the Navy. In July 1798, American ships were authorized to attack French vessels. This undeclared naval conflict with France became known as the Quasi-War. Resolutions. The hostilities were settled with the Convention of 1800, also called the Treaty of Mortefontaine, ratified in 1801. The XYZ Affair played a significant role in shaping American foreign policy and domestic policies. Its significance: the XYZ Affair heightened tensions between the US and France. It contributed to the political divide that eventually led to the Civil War. In summary, the XYZ Affair was a pivotal moment in the United States history, revealing the complexities of diplomacy and the challenges faced by young America on a world stage. There's a link somewhere, Wikipedia, that's right, Wikipedia link right there. For more information, you can refer to the historical article. Again, this is Wikipedia stuff here. Here's a picture from the time of the XYZ Affair. These goofy looking French folk here. Costumes. Kind of resembles the look that we see in France today. Kind of weird. Anyway, Professor Stevens, what you got for us? What kind of errors have you noticed?
Well, Casey, it seems we have quite an enthusiastic recounting of the XYZ Affair here. While I appreciate your attempt to summarize this complex diplomatic incident, I'm afraid I must point out several areas where your analysis falls short or potentially misrepresents the historical reality. First and foremost, your claim that the XYZ Affair contributed to the political divide that eventually led to the Civil War is highly questionable and borders on historical determinism. The Civil War, occurring over 60 years later, was the result of complex, long-standing issues primarily centered around slavery and states' rights. To draw a direct line from the XYZ Affair to the Civil War is an oversimplification at best. Secondly, your portrayal of Charles de Talleyrand is somewhat one-dimensional. While it's true he avoided meeting the American diplomats initially, Talleyrand was a skilled and nuanced diplomat. The bribery demands, while certainly inappropriate, were not uncommon in European diplomacy of the time. Your account fails to contextualize this within 18th century diplomatic norms. In the future, Casey, I would advise a more nuanced approach, with greater attention to contextualizing events within their broader historical framework. And please, do be more judicious in your use of exclamation points. This is history, not a penny dreadful. Now, if you'd like to revise your article, I'd be more than happy to review it again. Perhaps this time with a bit more shall we say, academic rigor.
I can't, man. Keep missing stuff. Where does he come up with this? Well, he went to school. That's where he gets it. Yeah. Years and years of college and lectures. I'm just learning this stuff online and stuff.